All right, well, I heard that yesterday, Sunday's Clues by Sam was really difficult. People were struggling with it. I didn't have time to record yesterday, but I talked to the creator of the game, and they supplied me with a link to it. So, link to this one in the description, by the way, if you missed it as well. But let's see if we can find the criminals and innocents. Both criminals below Gus are connected. Both criminals below Gus are connected. Well, below Gus, in order to have two criminals that are connected, they have to be Uma and Zed. And since that's both criminals, those are the only criminals below Gus. So K is innocent. Okay. My spatula is gone again. Not again, K. Come on. Put a tracker on that spatula or something. I don't know. Column A has more criminals than any other column. Okay, that's not going to be helpful yet. All criminals in column A are connected. Okay, well, one thing we know is column A has more criminals than any other column, which means it has at least 3 because we already have 2 in column 4, or column D. So column A has at least 3 criminals, and since they're all connected, there's no way to have 3 or more connected without Logan being a criminal. Okay. Only one of the 5 innocents on the edges is Chloe's neighbor. One of the 5 innocents on the edges is Chloe's neighbor. So Hal, Amy, and Deborah are Chloe's neighbors on the edges. So only one of those is an innocent. And so if Hal were innocent, Amy would have to be a criminal. But we know that all the criminals in column A are connected, so Hal actually can't be innocent. Hal has to be a criminal. But Hal didn't take the spatula, so he says. But he's a criminal. Can we trust him? I don't know. Maybe he's lying. So Amy and Deborah are now one of each. And what does that tell us? We know column A has at least column A has at least 3 criminals. But Amy could be the 3rd criminal and Pam and Vince could be innocent, I think. One of these 2 is an innocent. If Amy were innocent, then Pam would have to be a criminal. Okay, we also know 5 innocents on the edges. 5 innocents on the edges. Well, Amy and Deborah are one of each, so that's 1, 2, 3. So there's only 2 more innocents on the edges. But I'm just wondering if that has something, because Gus is on the edge as well, and Pam and Vince. So there's 5 innocents on the edges. There's at least 3 criminals in the first column here. So that leaves 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 more. And 3 of them are innocent. So there's 4 more. Yeah, but Wanda, Zavi, Chloe, and Deborah, we don't know much about yet. So column A has more criminals than any other column. So here's a question. Can Gus be a criminal? Because that would make 3 criminals in column D, and column A would have to have at least 4. If we did 3 and 4, that's 7. We've got 14 people around the edges. There's 5 innocents out of the 14. We need to have 9 criminals. So you could have 3 and 4. That would be fine. Can you have, yeah, you can have, because you could have, I was going to say, can you do the other way around? Can you only have 2 and 3? That would be 5. And we need to have 9 criminals. But you could have Chloe, Deborah, Wanda, and Zavi. Interesting. So if there's 3 criminals in the first column, right? If there's 3 criminals, that means there's only 2 in the 4th. Okay, those are 5. And Chloe, Deborah, Wanda, and Zavi all have to be criminals. Right? Which makes Amy innocent. And Pam a criminal. So if there's only 3 criminals, Amy ends up being innocent. And Pam is a criminal. If there's 4 criminals in the first column, Pam is a criminal. Pam's a criminal either way. All right. Nice. That was a little bit tricky. Only one of the 3 innocents neighboring K is in column C. There's 3 innocents neighboring K. Only one is in column C. That leaves Olive and Gus as the other two. Gus has to be innocent. Okay. And then Deborah, Jason, and Noah. Let's mark them in the bottom corner, just that something is going on. So one of them is innocent. Okay, all criminals in column B are connected. All criminals in column B are connected. Okay, well, I don't know how helpful that is yet, but column A has more criminals than any other column. Column A has... Okay, so let's go back to the all the way around the edges thing. So we know there's 2 in column D now. So there's 3 in column A. Could be more. There's 5 innocents on the edges. We have 3 plus Deborah and Amy are 1 of each. So that's 4. So there's only 1 more innocent. So I'm wondering, can Chloe be a criminal? Because Wanda basically has to be innocent then. Because we know there's not 5 criminals in column B. So knowing there's not 5 criminals in column B, Chloe and Wanda can't both be criminals because they can't be 5 because there has to be more in column A than anywhere else. So you can't have Chloe and Wanda being criminals. So we have 3 innocents. Deborah and Amy are 1 of each. Chloe and Wanda actually have to be 1 of each as well because they can't both be criminals, but they can't both be innocent because there's only 1 more innocent around the edges. So they are 1 of each. One of them is the 5th innocent. Vince and Zavi are both criminals. And since they're 1 of each, we know that the criminals in column B have to start at an edge and work their way out from there, basically. All right. Zavi says, I ain't taking no spatula. You also ain't taking no English classes, Zavi. All right, Sue has exactly 2 innocent neighbors. Sue has 2 innocent neighbors. Exactly 2. So, Ronald can't be innocent because Maria and Wanda... So Sue has 1 more innocent neighbor. If it was Ronald, Maria and Wanda would both be criminals, and criminals have to be connected in column B. So Ronald cannot be innocent. Ronald is a criminal. And therefore, Chloe can be a criminal if Amy is a criminal. But, yeah, that would work, because we could do these 4, and you'd have all 5 in that column. Okay. Well, Maria and Wanda can't both be innocent. One of them is a criminal. But it could just be Wanda and then Maria's innocent. Yeah. Don't I? Okay. There is an equal number of criminals in columns B and C. Okay, one of the 5 innocents, the edge is closing. Okay, we've already done this. We've already marked all that. One of the 3 innocents neighboring K is in column C. There's 1 innocent here. Sue has 2 innocent neighbors. So Noah, Maria, and Wanda are 1 of each. Or are not 1 of each. Are 1 innocent among them. Okay, so... So Deborah, Jason, and Noah are 1 innocent and 2 criminals. So there's 3 criminals already in column C. There's 3 or 4? 3 or 4? Probably 3 because there's already... I mean, you'd have to have all 5 in column A if there was 4. So probably 3, which means there's probably 3 in column B. But there's at least 3. And so Maria has to be a criminal. Okay. Only 1 cop has exactly 5 criminal neighbors. 1 cop. Hal is a cop. Noah's a cop. Sue's a cop. 1 cop has exactly 5 criminal neighbors. Well, Sue has 5, but is going to have 6 because Sue has 2 innocent neighbors. So actually, Wanda and Noah are 1 of each. Okay, I'm gonna get rid of these colors and do that. Same color as 1 of each. I could switch to the different coloring thing, but I don't know how Amy and Deborah connect with the coloring of these others, so I'm just gonna stick with that. Okay. So Sue has 5 criminal neighbors already, plus 1 of these 2 is 6. So Sue is not the cop with the 5 criminal neighbors. Hal Hal could have 5 criminal neighbors. Noah has 3, could have 5. Column B, neighbors are criminals are connected. We know there's at least 3, but it could be Wanda or Isaac. There's the same as in C. Column A has more criminals. We know that. All criminals in column A are connected. Okay, we can get rid of that. Equal number of criminals in columns B and C. Okay, so maybe we need to look at the edges again. So we need to have, how many did we say around the edges? 5 innocents on the edges, which we've got that marked. So there's gonna be 5 innocents on the edges. If Isaac is a criminal, that makes 4 in column B. If Isaac is a criminal, Amy would have to be a criminal, which would mean Deborah's innocent, but there'd be 4 in column B. So Deborah would be a criminal. Sue would be a criminal. If Isaac is a criminal, Sue is a criminal. And if Isaac is innocent, Sue is innocent. Interesting. So let's, it's getting complicated marking all the colors, especially when I'm colorblind. But let's do this for a second. Isaac and Sue. So if Isaac is innocent, then there's only 3 criminals in column B. And we know there's the 3 in column C, but 2 of them are Deborah, Jason, or Noah. So Sue would have to be innocent. So if Isaac's innocent, Sue is innocent. If Isaac is a criminal, because Chloe and Wanda are one of each, we'll have 4 criminals in column B. And Sue will have to be a criminal to make 4 criminals in column C. So Isaac and Sue are the same. So, and we know one of the cops has to have 5 criminals. So Noah has 3 already. Noah is either going to have Isaac and Sue or just Jason. Potentially just Jason. So Noah's got 3. The only way Noah can have 5 criminals is if Isaac and Sue are both criminals. Hal can only have 5 if Isaac, Chloe, and Amy are all criminals. That seems like it would... Oh, but if Isaac is a criminal, Sue's a criminal. So for Hal to have, right, okay, so for Noah to have 5 criminal neighbors, Isaac and Sue have to be criminals. For Hal to have 5 criminal neighbors, Amy, Chloe, and Isaac have to be criminals. Either way, Isaac has to be a criminal. Isaac is a criminal, which means Sue is a criminal. I deny everything, including taking the spatula. I ran out of ideas. I guess I took it then. Okay, and now we know that column B has 4 criminals, and so does column C, so column A must have 5 criminals. Amy's a criminal. Deborah is innocent. Spatula thou seekest was not by my hand taken. Okay, I hope this is the last spatula theft you need to solve. Probably not. Probably won't be. Okay, so Noah now has 5. Hal has 4. So Chloe and Jason can't be the same, effectively. Okay, I'm going to switch back to the... I'm coloring the ones that are the same now. So Jason and Chloe cannot be the same. No. They have to be the same. Because if Chloe is a criminal, Hal will have 5 and Noah can't have 5, so those 2 have to be the same. If Chloe's innocent, then Hal will only have 4, and Noah will need to stick with 5, so Jason will need to be innocent. So Chloe and Jason actually have to be the same. Noah's the same. Wanda, okay, Sue, exactly 2 innocent neighbors. 1 of 3 innocents neighboring K is in column C. That's the 1 innocent in column C. Jason and Noah both have to be criminals. Right, because we need 4 in that column. We already knew that. Silly. Okay, so now we've got 6, so Hal needs to have 5. Spatula, take it, I did not. I totally didn't take the spatula. That spatula's absence is no fault of mine. I suspect maybe Wanda took the spatula? I don't know, let's find out. Wanda is innocent, though. I never knew there'd be so many ways to deny spatula theft. So nobody took the spatula. Nobody admitted. Nobody admitted to taking the spatula. But you know, it's hard to say. Well, actually, Deborah didn't deny it. The criminals all denied it, but they're all criminals. So I don't know. Who took the spatula? Good question. If you know who took the spatula, let me know. And also, if you solved this puzzle yesterday or after getting the link in the description from me, let me know how it went for you. And of course, be sure to subscribe for more.